Hi everybody, welcome back for Snippet Saturday. I just wanted to show my snippet now that I've finished. I recorded the last bit of sewing, but I don't know what happened, my camera didn't work. Who knows why these things happen. So I took out the picture of the van to my friend Chloe, and while I was there, her girlfriend had a whole heap of her grandma's stuff. So she said to me, I want to donate some things, some of my grandma's things. So we went through quite a few tubs worth of stuff, and she ended up making me a big tub full of bits of material, buttons, threads, and what else? Yes, so antique buttons, but also she had a whole heap of packets of different crystal beads. So I thought I would add some in onto the end of this snippet roll. So I'm going to go through. So what I did, the method I used, I showed it on camera before, but obviously it didn't record. It's like a little parcel. I've come up each side and gone down through the hole so as it's like a square. I've done some bits of lace with the different sewing on it, some more antique buttons I got from her, and I've done like a cross stitch in two different colours over the top of each other here. And this is not meant to be like a flower garden. It was just a random pattern, but now that I'm looking at it, it almost looks like they're the flowers on top of the green things. So maybe I'll add some more green things so as it looks like that, or maybe I'll just leave it, because if you had at a glance, it doesn't necessarily look like a garden. It's not really meant to look or be like a garden. So I've put on a flower, a little rose from Imi's shop, lots of lace. Actually, some of these are from Imi's shop. Oh, that wasn't, that was from my friend. This is off a beautiful doily. Now these are antique buttons I got off the other lady who had lots of them, and so I've done cross stitch in lots of different colours here, fly stitch, added a bit of colour to this area because it was feeling a little bit too same, added some different colour to this. Now I've got my little, I love this part of this. In fact, I might actually scan it, see how it looks scanned. I ended up covering up the black. I thought it stuck out a bit too much. It didn't kind of, I mean, I've got the buttons that blended in and the thread that blended in, but I've put this extra lace, which was off my friend's grandma. And what else I've added? Oh, I just added some pistol stitch over each other and some bullion knots here and a bit of the pink there. So that's it, and I'm going to put that up in my Etsy store. Got a bit of seed stitch here. I love the way seed stitch, you know, it goes from being just a flat plain bit of material. When you put the seed stitch on it, like, it stiffens it up as if it's got some interface in between it or something, but it also looks quite, I find it quite interesting. I'm in two minds. I want to put it in my Etsy store, but I haven't got a wooden thing yet, a spool. So I'm in two minds about whether I wait and find a spool and put it on, or whether I put it in the shop as is for someone else to put on their own spool. And maybe, if you like, you can comment below and let me know what your thoughts on that. Anyway, so that's last Saturday's snippet finished, ready to go. Okay, now I've just loaded up my table with a bunch of stuff. Now my friend has challenged me for Snippet Saturday to make the tackiest thing I can make, because she was picking out stuff like, so she's a very flamboyant actually, so she loves to wear black with bright red and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do is accept the challenge. I have no idea how I can do it, because, you know, we always as artists have this aesthetic that we want to like what we're looking at, but so my challenge is, how can I make something be as tacky as she's insisting I make it, but it still is a bit of art. So her idea about it was that if I use stuff like this sort of ribbon, which is really nice ribbon on its own, but putting all these sorts of things together, I may be able to get it very tacky. But what I'll try and do, so let's say I'm going to use this, because this will be a good challenge too, because it's quite thick, so it'll be a good challenge to embroider something with that. That's one thing, and definitely this, and maybe this, they'll go, won't they? So let's say we're bordering on a very light lilac with the silver, so she loves silver. So that's the start. I'm not going to put the gold with it. What's this one? Oh, see here. So her grandma did a lot of floristry stuff. So this is floristry ribbon. And so I'm wondering if I can make something out of that. All right, so that's definitely going in the pile. And this is floristry ribbon too. Okay, let's have a look. Right, so that's gold. Okay, I'm not going to do gold. She particularly loves red and threw this in. I'm not sure if it's going to match. So maybe she's going to put this up on her grandma's wall or something. Alright, so that's got a bit of silvery. So is that. Alright, so we've got a few things that are going to match. I don't want to go too purple because she's actually not a purple girl at all. That's just a bit of bias binding, just ribbons. Cute little pot. Right, so let's put these aside. So, oh, what a challenge. It is a challenge. Maybe now, let's see. Put these. I've got a bit of this stuff for the background. This stuff. So that'd be something she'll love. Now, I'm still pink's too obvious, isn't it? Like this green. That green will clash. It won't like them together. Alright, so that's it. I'm still a bit undecided about this red, just that I know she loves red. So let's see. That's a good stash. That's a really tacky ribbon. Alright, maybe that's the bit of red. It's not quite the red she likes, but okay, that's going to go in. I might make it a bit smaller, like a little bow. So this is the challenge. Hilarious. Little bow. Right, might be able to do something with those bits. She gave me a giant hoop. I don't know if that is. No, I'll just save that. I'll do something else on that. So there were a whole heap of these little, so I might use them because that will be a reminder of her grandma. Now, she's given me this floristry wire and she said, oh, do you want that or shall I throw it out? And then I remembered when we did the, you know, when I made my chunky book with Anne, that we did a circle and we used a wire, like a floristry wire for the circle. So I was showing her how to do that. So I've already, this is going to dictate that there is going to be a fabric cut circle there. Don't need, I might do. All right, let's challenge, let's just make this up on the spot and challenge ourselves to say we're going to do 2 or 3 of them, all right. She had this antique, it's been glued down so it seems a bit tatty, but it's really actually quite nice. So I don't find that tacky. I'm not going to use that for this. But here's a whole heap of these little plastic beads. So definitely going to use those. They're like little kids' beads. What else? What's this one? To Mother with Love. Now, I don't know about you. That's sort of, it's tacky, but if I'm making this for my friend, that doesn't make sense because she's not a mum. If she was going to give it to her grandma as a present, then that doesn't make sense either. So, all right, funny, but that's probably from the floristry kit. All right, so we're going to make some more circles. A smaller circle for this one. My room is getting very nicely organised now. I'm happy about it. I'm actually able to see tops of desks and know where things are. So that's pretty amazing. I'm happy about that. So let's see, this is a bit of a stash, isn't it? Circle, making another circle. So why I said that was I was thinking, I wonder where my jewellery making stuff is, because I've got some proper jewellery making wire cutters in there. This will do. So that's 2 different size circles. That's a bit wibbly. There's going to be another one. Now, let's see what's in this. I don't think you get a old square tin very often. Oh look, now I don't know about anyone else. Someone might think, oh, what a treasure, and probably is. But that looks like that was off a old canister, an old lid or an old brooch or something. So I'm putting that in. I think this is. I think that might come in handy for another project. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? Oh, look at those, how gorgeous. Right, so they might come in handy. There's some really old buttons here. Vogue butt trick, $1.85 for 6 buttons. Not sure. How much are these ones? It's always funny going through this stash, isn't it? It's like, oh, how much people's stashes. Oh, a little tiny button with a little cat on. Well, there you are. We have to put that on after the last couple of comments about cats. Now, so I have had in all the stashes I've got lately from people either selling on Facebook Marketplace antique buttons or in this lot, I keep getting these googly eyes. Now, does someone want to make a comment about them? Because I've decided I'm just throwing them out because they annoy me. I don't know why. I thought they were funny, but they've been annoying me. But however, having said that, now that I'm remembering, she's challenged me to a tacky. Yep, they've got to go on. That's as simple as that. They've got to go on. So she's got a few little belt things. They're not necessarily tacky. They can be used. Does anyone else enjoy this? I really enjoy getting these little tiny antique sewing kits. Look at that. How cute is it? It's got little needles, little thread, a few little buttons, little pin holder. Cute. Some wooden stars, some pink buttons. Oh, that's pretty tacky, isn't it? That has to go on. Some little sequins. These buttons. Oh, okay. Look, I didn't think I could find tacky, but you know what? I'm managing it. They're all just maybe a whole row of those buttons somewhere. Oh, here's a blue ribbon to match the other one. Oh my goodness, that button. I don't know if anyone's getting excited about what's going to happen with these. What about those two? All right, let's... I've got a whole range of these sorts of old coat buttons too. But I don't necessarily think they're tacky, but I'm not quite sure how to find a place for them. Comment below if you have an idea. All right, so let's put these away. One more box. Oh, okay, so lots of ribbons. So I'm interested after, so this is floristry stuff. After watching Ariane Zerka, I said to my friend I was actually interested in getting a needle that was big enough to do some embroidery with, you know, with ribbon. So I'm glad I found some, but that will go well with tacky. Now I'm just thinking, where's my colours? So it's silver, lilac, one little bit of gold. I didn't really want to put a lot of gold. Got this backing, which I know she'll love, and googly eyes because it'll make her laugh. One little cat because she loves cats. These tacky buttons and some silver tacky buttons. I've got one little red bow, one little blue bow. Okay. I thought I could also, here's a bright blue. I quite like that with that. Let's put this, let's see, put this here like this. Get some of this ribbon over the top. Get a bit of this. Yeah, I like that. A bit of this. What else? Not the floristry ribbon. Okay, so here's some of the silver thin stuff. So these two might be, I might be able to try a bit of embroidery with those because they're thin enough. Oh, that's elastic. Okay, so that won't work. I thought about pink, but no, I don't think so. There's lots of pink in here, but I don't think, oh, all right. So maybe adding a bit of tartan. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I love that. What does this one say? I think these are all, this is her floristry, her grandma's floristry. With love. But see, that's all right. I'm going to limit it. I'm going to cut it and just put it, and it has to go in somewhere. All right. Oh, it's all staticky. Oh, that's how I'm doing it. I'm actually cutting things, so I give myself a challenge just with the bits and pieces. What's that? What else? Oh, now that might work. A bit of text will be good, even though we all know what this text is. Tree and Evelyn. Yeah, a bit of white to embroider with. Right, no more pink. Don't want any pink with this. Did I open that little tin? Oh yes, that's right. This is, I think this is where she got the idea of how to be tacky. These are little kids' butterflies, and that's when she challenged me. She said, I said to her, I probably wouldn't use those, and she goes, okay, challenge. Challenge is to use these little butterflies and make the tackiest thing ever. So they have to go here too. Oh, burgundy. I'm going to put that in too. Yeah, that's in there. Lots of purple. It's a very pale blue. No, I've got the white, don't need it. I hope someone's getting some good ideas. There's a bit of that can bring in the gold a bit. Alright. A bit more tartan. Oh, it's a different one. Alright. Let's just put a little bit of that in. Alright. I think also what I might do is see if I can make up a couple of little kits of bits like this if anyone is interested, especially if you're in Melbourne. Maybe Susanna, you're just in Geelong, so you're not too far. You might like that challenge. Right, here's a purple ribbon. Not sure. Oh, and some, of course, some little red hearts. Now that's her red, and that's what she would put on things. So they have to go on too. Alright, so this might be quite a lengthy project because I'm still trying to work out, is this actually a snippet roll, even though it's Snippet Saturday? Is it a snippet roll, or is it actually going to be a, you know, a bit of material like Susanna and Rachel and Anne and Jeanette and Sarah, and who's the other girl? Oh, sorry, I've forgotten. Your name is just out of my brain right now. The girls did that size, and I think, yeah, I might do that. Might do. Is it still a snippet if it's just a bit? Like, if it's just a bit of material, it's kind of still a snippet, isn't it? It's just not a snippet roll. All right, so how about that? What does everyone think about that stash for starting a... I think I'm taking the burgundy out. Starting a little project. Do I want the blue in? I've got the blue, got a bit of the green, got the tartan and the red, and then the rest is all silver and purple and gold. All right, that's it. So what I need is something like this. Put all the bits on. And googly eyes. I almost feel like saying no to putting the googly eyes. I was like, oh no, that's just yes, it's tacky, but oh my goodness, it's not gonna work for me. I don't know. I said to my daughter as we were shopping the other day, I said, oh, what do you think of googly eyes? I keep coming across them and they're really annoying me. She goes, no, I don't mind it. For whatever, you know, I mean, obviously for certain things. Okay, that's my stash. So I'm going to start something with that during the week. So I'll show you next Saturday what I've made with that. Circles, or how I'm progressing. Now, Snippet Saturday doesn't have to just be about material, and I have not done any paper snippet rolls for a while, and I wanted to do one today as well. Yeah. So that took a while, but we got there. Here we go. Yeah, let me know if you want like a little baggie of stuff made up, posted out. You'll have to pay the postage, of course. I'll probably just make some up for a couple of dollars. Okay. That out of the way. Right. Snippet Saturday. God. The other day, as I was cleaning up, I realised I just had tubs and tubs and tubs of paper, and I thought, you know what, it's ridiculous. And so I got some of these and I've just put in, so this one's letters, numbers and words. And printouts are, I'll probably use this one because this has got, yeah, that's scraps of my my own artwork and stuff. So probably need to clear away a bit. Oh, the reason I had this out was I was going to show you. Some people know about these clover little rings where you can make your Suffolk puffs. So I'll demonstrate that next week because now I'm on a roll with paper. Right. So my clean room has now started to be messy, as you're meant to do. So I'm going to make a snippet roll with this. How wide? Let's make it maybe that wide. Start getting some gluey things down. Actually, you know what, I might not use that glue. Just do it for that bit because it's a bit wet. Glue stick. And I need I haven't used it, so it's a bit dry. All right. I'm going to go and sew it, so I'm just sticking down bits. So just a bit of glue stick will really just hold these in place. Toiling. some of these are just little printouts of my little digi kits in Etsy store. So some are just, these are spatters from a bit left over from an art piece, or the background underneath something. It's all about just using up your scraps, isn't it? Collaging. And if you're coming along for the ride here and making one of these yourself, you can always have it, there's a few different varieties. You can have it hanging off the edge, and you can do this with material too, and with sewing material on rather than embroidery. If they're hanging off, so I have two ways of doing it. You can leave them hanging off the edge if you like that look, or I put everything down, sew it all, and then I decide to cut any straggly bits away. I also sometimes add material over the top as well. So maybe we'll do that. We might add some material. A bit of tea dyed or stained coffee filter. Not tea dyed unless you drink pink or blue tea, which sometimes people do make a pink paper from tea, from hibiscus tea or something like that. So having this one quite wet, because it's thin, I wouldn't put it through till it had dried a bit. I wouldn't put it through the sewing machine for a bit, not till it's dried off a bit, because that'll just be sticky on the machine. Well, my machine's a good old one. Good old, oh, some of my bee paper, lovely. Filling it up. I don't think I'll use any more of that tissue paper. Alright, so if you haven't actually sewn paper on a sewing machine before, just be aware it does blunt your needle. And also you might want to have a specific needle only for the paper. and less glue the better. I've probably put a little bit too much on that bit. More of this green. All right. I think I'd like some of that on. And some of that. So I might, look, it's going to be thick for hand stitching, so I don't know if I'll couch that over the top or not. That's usable, maybe not. Definitely might stitch that on. And that. Some of this. That one, just get on this to hold it down. Now I'm probably going to do, because there's so many layers and so many odd bits and pieces and I haven't glued them entirely solidly down, I am probably going to do quite a bit of up and down with the sewing machine. We'll see when we get there. Don't think I've finished yet. I've got this nice big long strip of material and I've got that. And like another bit over there. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to get that on. Well, we'll come to that when we come to it. Alright, this is what I've got so far. Okay, I'll be back when I've sewn. I haven't got it set up to watch me sewing yet. Not yet. Maybe soon. There we go. That's going to go down there. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so here it is sewn up. I had to put a brand new needle on because that's the back. I realised probably it's better to use a thinner card for the backing. That was quite a thick card. Now I can trim up these edges. You don't have to, of course. Depends what you want to use it for. Now I'll just show you this. This was the bit of wool. So I've basically done a very close together zigzag, which is buttonhole stitch actually, which is like couched that bit of wool down. Done a bit of a zigzag stitch along the edge of that and just stitched a lot along all of them. and that's how it's come out. Now then what I've done is scanned it into the computer, and this is what I've come up with. So that's two of them next to each other. So I will be making a little book from that. And that's it. That's my Snippet Saturday. Have fun with that. I'm just going to keep on playing, I think. Well, you go and you do you. And have a play yourself and enjoy it. And I will be back next Saturday for Snippet Saturday with the... Well, I'll be back on Tuesday, of course, with Tag Tuesday. And back to show you how my progress is going with the very, very tacky snippet next Saturday. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.